Hello everyone, and welcome to the channel. And today we're delving into a topic that's incredibly important for every gardener and nature enthusiast. It's a common experience. You see a stunning plant, perhaps at a nursery or in a neighbor's yard, and you're immediately captivated by its blossoms, foliage, or rapid growth. However, it's crucial to remember that some plants may look beautiful, but they can wreak havoc on your garden and local ecosystem. These aren't just vigorous growers, they are true invaders, capable of upsetting the delicate balance of nature. These problematic plants are known as invasive species. They are non-native to a particular area, and once introduced, they spread aggressively, often outcompeting our cherished native flora for essential resources like sunlight, water, and nutrients. This can lead to a decrease in biodiversity, disrupt local food webs, and even alter the physical environment. It's a serious issue, and as responsible gardeners, it's our duty to be informed and make choices that support, rather than harm, our surroundings. Understanding which plants pose a threat is the first step towards creating a garden that is not only beautiful, but also ecologically sound. In this video, we'll be identifying 10 specific invasive plants that you should absolutely avoid introducing into your garden spaces. Some of them might surprise you, as they are, or have been, quite popular in landscaping. We'll explore why each one is problematic and discuss the kind of damage they can inflict. My hope is that this information will empower you to make thoughtful decisions, ensuring your garden remains a sanctuary for beauty and a haven for local wildlife, rather than an accidental outpost for ecological disruption. It's all about gardening with care and foresight. Our first plant, English ivy or Hedera helix, is one many of you will recognize. It's often sold for its classic evergreen foliage and its ability to create a lush ground cover or climb gracefully up walls and trellises, evoking a sense of old-world charm. For years, it was a go-to for covering bare spots or adding a touch of green to shaded areas. Its heart-shaped leaves are undeniably attractive, and its dense growth can seem like a quick solution for landscaping challenges. Many homes and historic buildings feature ivy, contributing to its romanticized image. It's hardy, tolerant of various conditions, and establishes quite easily, which, unfortunately, are also traits that contribute to its invasive nature. The problem with English ivy is its sheer aggressive vigor and the methods it uses to spread. As a ground cover, it forms a dense mat that smothers native wildflowers and prevents the regeneration of trees and shrubs by blocking sunlight and monopolizing soil moisture and nutrients. When it climbs, its aerial rootlets can damage mortar and brickwork, pry apart siding, and even girdle mature trees, eventually leading to their decline and death. Furthermore, in its mature flowering stage, it produces berries that are eaten by birds, who then disperse the seeds far and wide, allowing the ivy to escape cultivation and invade natural woodlands and other sensitive habitats. It truly becomes a green blanket of destruction. Next on our list is Japanese honeysuckle, Lonicera japonica. This vine is well known for its incredibly fragrant, tubular white and yellow flowers that perfume the air, especially in the evenings during late spring and summer. Many of us have fond childhood memories of plucking these blossoms to taste the sweet nectar. Its rapid growth and fragrant blooms made it a popular choice for covering fences, arbors, or unsightly areas, promising a quick and beautiful screen. It can seem like a lovely, almost whimsical addition to a garden, attracting pollinators with its abundant flowers. However, this sweetness hides a very aggressive nature. Japanese honeysuckle is a rampant grower, spreading by vigorous twining vines that can climb high into trees, and also by runners and seeds dispersed by birds and other animals. It grows so densely that it can completely engulf and smother native shrubs and young trees, weighing them down and blocking out sunlight essential for their survival. Its vines can also girdle the stems and trunks of host plants, cutting off their vascular systems. In natural areas, it forms dense thickets that outcompete native understory plants, drastically reducing biodiversity and altering the habitat structure for wildlife. It's a plant that quickly overstays its welcome. Kudzu, Pueraria montana var. lobata, is perhaps one of the most infamous invasive plants, especially in the southeastern United States, where it has earned the nickname the vine that ate the South. Introduced from Asia in the late 19th century for erosion control and as a forage crop, its incredibly rapid growth quickly turned it from a perceived solution into a monumental problem. It can grow as much as a foot a day during the peak summer months, an astonishing rate that few plants can match. Its large, three-lobed leaves create a dense canopy, and it climbs over almost anything in its path. This relentless growth allows kudzu to completely dominate landscapes. It blankets trees, shrubs, fences, utility poles, and even abandoned buildings, creating surreal, undulating green vistas. By covering other vegetation so thoroughly, it blocks out all sunlight, effectively starving and killing the plants underneath, including mature trees. This leads to massive losses of native plant communities and the wildlife that depends on them. Its sheer weight can also bring down trees and power lines. While efforts are made to control it, its extensive root system makes eradication incredibly difficult. It's a stark reminder of how an introduced plant can run wild. Bamboo is often admired for its graceful, exotic appearance and its ability to create a quick privacy screen or a serene, zen-like atmosphere in a garden. There are, so many species of bamboo, and it's important to distinguish between clumping varieties, which generally stay put, and running varieties, which are the culprits we're discussing today. Running bamboos, such as those in the Philostachys genus, possess an underground stem system called rhizomes that can spread with astonishing speed and determination, often much further and faster than a gardener anticipates. The primary issue with running bamboo is the aggressive nature of these rhizomes. They can travel many feet underground, sending up new shoots far from the original planting, invading neighboring properties, and even pushing through asphalt driveways or foundations. Once established, it is incredibly difficult and costly to eradicate. Containment barriers, if not installed deeply and properly, are often breached. These bamboo groves can quickly become dense monocultures, displacing all other vegetation and significantly altering the local ecosystem. While beautiful in its native, controlled setting in many suburban gardens, it becomes a relentless and unwelcome colonizer. Purple loosestrife, Lythrum salicaria, is a striking perennial with tall spikes of vibrant magenta-purple flowers that bloom throughout the summer. Its beauty is undeniable, and for this reason it was, and sometimes still is, sold as an ornamental for gardens, particularly those with moist soil or near-water features. It's a hardy plant that can produce an enormous number of seeds. A single mature plant can release millions of tiny seeds each year, contributing to its rapid spread. It's often seen gracing the edges of ponds and streams, seemingly a perfect fit for such locations. Unfortunately, this plant is a serious invader of wetlands, including marshes, riverbanks, and wet meadows. Once it establishes in these sensitive ecosystems, purple loosestrife forms dense, impenetrable stands that outcompete and displace native wetland vegetation. This includes plants that provide essential food and habitat for a wide range of wildlife, such as waterfowl, amphibians, and insects. The monocultures it creates drastically reduce biodiversity and can even alter the hydrology and nutrient cycling of wetland systems. It's a beautiful deceiver that wreaks havoc on some of our most valuable natural habitats. Wisteria, particularly the Asian species like Chinese wisteria, Wisteria sinensis, and Japanese wisteria, Wisteria floribunda, is renowned for its breathtaking cascades of fragrant pea-like flowers in shades of purple, blue, pink, or white. These dramatic blooms, often appearing in spring before the leaves fully emerge, make it a highly sought-after vine for arbors, pergolas, and house walls. The romantic imagery of a wisteria-draped cottage is deeply ingrained in many gardening aesthetics, and its vigorous growth can quickly cover structures, creating a stunning floral display. However, this vigorous growth is precisely the problem. These non-native wisterias develop incredibly strong woody vines that can grow to a considerable size and weight. They twine tightly around supporting structures and can easily girdle and kill mature trees by, constricting their trunks and branches, cutting off the flow of water and nutrients. Their powerful growth can also damage buildings, pulling down gutters, warping trellises, and even compromising structural integrity over time. Furthermore, they spread aggressively through suckers from the roots and by seeds, allowing them to escape gardens and invade nearby woodlands where they can smother native vegetation. Japanese barberry, Berberis thunbergi, is a very common landscaping shrub prized for its attractive foliage, which can range from deep greens to vibrant reds, oranges, and purples, especially in autumn. It's also valued for its deer resistance, a quality many gardeners seek, and its tolerance for a variety of conditions, making it seem like a low-maintenance choice. Its thorny branches can also create a somewhat impenetrable hedge. You'll see it used extensively in foundation plantings, borders, and mass plantings in both residential and commercial landscapes. The issue with Japanese barberry is twofold. Firstly, It readily escapes cultivation, with birds eating its small red berries and dispersing the seeds into woodlands and natural areas. There, it forms dense thickets that outcompete and displace native understory plants, reducing biodiversity. Secondly, and perhaps more alarmingly, research has shown a strong correlation between Japanese barberry infestations and increased populations of ticks, particularly black-legged ticks, deer ticks, which are vectors for Lyme disease. The dense foliage of barberry creates a humid microclimate near the ground that is ideal for tick survival and proliferation. It's a plant that, while visually appealing, can have significant ecological and human health implications. Burning bush, Euonymus alatus, is another extremely popular ornamental shrub, famous for its incredibly brilliant, almost fluorescent crimson-red fall foliage. This spectacular autumn display is its main selling point, and it certainly lives up to its name, creating a fiery focal point in the landscape. It's relatively easy to grow, adaptable to various soil types, and has a neat, dense growth habit, making it a common choice for hedges, foundation plantings, and specimen plants in gardens across many regions. For many, it's a quintessential symbol of autumn color. Despite its beauty, burning bush is a highly invasive species in many parts of North America. Birds are attracted to its small, reddish-orange fruits and readily consume them, subsequently dispersing the seeds into adjacent woodlands, fields, and other natural areas. Once established, burning bush can form dense, monotypic stands that shade out and outcompete native shrubs, wildflowers, and young trees. This significantly reduces the biodiversity of the understory, impacting the insects, birds, and other wildlife that depend on those native plants for food and shelter. Its fiery beauty in the garden can, unfortunately, lead to the extinguishing of native plant communities in the wild. The Callery pear, Pyrus calleriana, and its many cultivars, most notably Bradford, were once lauded as ideal street and ornamental trees. They were admired for their profusion of white spring blossoms, symmetrical upright shape, glossy green leaves, and tolerance of urban conditions. For decades, they were planted extensively along roadsides, in parks, and in suburban yards, promising a quick and uniform solution for landscape beautification. Their early spring bloom, often before other trees leaf out, made them a conspicuous and, for a time, celebrated sight. However, the Callery pear has revealed significant downsides. Bradford pears, specifically, are notorious for their weak branch structure, with narrow crotch angles that make them highly susceptible to splitting and breaking, especially in storms or under the weight of ice or snow. Beyond this structural flaw, and the often unpleasant smell of their flowers, a more serious ecological issue emerged. While individual cultivars were thought to be sterile, different Callery pear cultivars planted in proximity can cross-pollinate, producing viable seeds. Birds eat the small, hard fruits and disperse these seeds widely. The resulting wild Callery pears are often thorny and form dense, impenetrable thickets that outcompete native trees and shrubs, altering entire ecosystems. Butterfly bush, Buddleia davidii, is, as its name suggests, incredibly attractive to adult butterflies which flock to its long panicles of colorful, fragrant flowers for nectar. This has made it a very popular choice for gardeners wishing to create a pollinator-friendly habitat. Seeing a butterfly bush covered in dozens of fluttering butterflies is indeed a delightful sight, and it's easy to assume that such a plant must be an unmitigated benefit to these beautiful insects. It grows quickly, blooms profusely throughout the summer, and comes in a variety of appealing colors. The concern with many common varieties of Buddleia davidii is that while they provide abundant nectar for adult butterflies, their foliage is not a host food source for the caterpillars of most native butterfly species. Butterflies need specific native host plants for their larvae to feed on and complete their life cycle. Furthermore, in many regions, butterfly bush can be quite invasive, readily self-seeding and spreading into natural areas, roadsides, and disturbed sites. There, it can form dense stands that outcompete and displace the very native plants that are crucial for caterpillar development and overall ecosystem health. So, while it feeds the adults, it can reduce the resources needed for the next generation. If you must plant it, look for sterile cultivars that won't spread. And there you have it. 10 plants that, despite any alluring qualities they might possess, are best left out of our gardens to protect our local ecosystems. It's clear that a plant's beauty or ease of growth doesn't always equate to it being a good choice for our environment. Making informed decisions about what we plant is a significant way we, as gardeners, can contribute positively to the health of our planet, starting right in our own backyards. It's about cultivating with consciousness and care. I truly hope this overview has been enlightening and will help you in your gardening endeavors. I encourage you to always research plants before introducing them, and whenever possible, to choose native or non-invasive alternatives. Native plants are wonderfully adapted to your local climate and soil, and they provide the best food and habitat for local wildlife, supporting a rich and resilient ecosystem. There are so many beautiful and beneficial native options available that can bring just as much joy and color to your garden without the associated risks. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you found this information helpful, please consider giving this video a thumbs up and sharing it with fellow gardeners and friends. Spreading awareness is key to helping others protect their gardens and, more importantly, our precious local environments from the threat of invasive species. Remember, every thoughtful plant choice makes a difference. Happy gardening, and I'll see you in the next video.